Two teams trying to regain footing as the Asean Basketball League playoff draws near. Face-off tonight at the University of Macau as the Macau Black Bears take on the visiting Westports Malaysia Dragons. The Black Bears are looking to recover from the loss of injured superstar Anthony Tucker, while the Reeling Dragons want to end their 5-game winning streak. As we take a look at the team standings, Macau Black Bears are 11-9, and the Westports Malaysia Dragons are 6-14, losing their last 5. Good evening, everyone. Yoyo Sarmente on the mic. My partner, Carlo Pamintuan. And Carlo, one of the biggest questions tonight is, how will the Black Bears recover from the loss of Tucker?
That is a very tough loss, especially at this stage of the tournament. Tucker, 25 points, 5 rebounds, 10 assists per ball game. You're missing that kind of contribution coming off one of your most focal points. But the very fact is, if they win this ball game, they will head into the playoffs. They will clinch a playoff spot. Meanwhile, talking about the Westports Malaysia Dragons, this guy has to heat up. Talking about Chris Eversley, had a good performance against the BTN CLS Knights Indonesia, 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 steals, but he has not been shooting very well from the field at only 38% this season. He needs to get hot very early in this game against the Macau Black Bears while still doing the same effort on the defensive end.
And Chris Eversley, of course, has been with the Dragons for the past couple of years, and as you've mentioned, Carlo, his shooting has been troublesome for the Dragons. But another wrinkle in this game, also the loss of Winston Shepard. As we take a look at Mckinney for the Black Bears.
Mike Mckinney will have to step up even more. Had an outstanding game, an ABL career high of 42 points, while adding 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and 5 steals in that loss to the Formosa Dreamers. But he'll have to do even more because the pressure in the loss of Anthony Tucker would mostly fall on the shoulders of Mike Mckinney. He has to come up hot. He has to come out firing in this game against the Westports Malaysia Dragons. Of course, another player who can chip in is their big man, Ryan Watkins. Also needs to be a presence inside to help out in the scoring because you're losing one of your vital cogs as we talk about Ryan Watkins and how he will match up against Nana Egwu. These were the numbers in their last games. 15 points and 9 rebounds for Watkins, 11 points and 6 rebounds. It's very important for these two big men to dominate the inside for their respective squads.
As we're just about to start here at the University of Macau, the ball is up, and here we go. And Mckinney, Carlo, what's the biggest, what have you been most impressed about Mckinney the past couple of games?
Mike Mckinney has been willing to take charge for his team. That has been what has impressed me the most because he has been on fire in their last 6 games, scoring 35, 30, 28, 40, 28, and then 42 points for an average of 33.8 points in their last 6 games. He is a take-charge guy, the guy that would step up in the absence of Anthony Tucker. Talking about the Macau Black Bears, they are the top scoring team in the league with 103 points per ball game. But as we said, they're missing 25 points and 10 assists per ball game. So that's at least 45 points, courtesy of Anthony Tucker, and Mike Mckinney will have to do even more.
You mentioned the Black Bears are the #1 scoring team. And inversely, the Dragons are the worst team offensively, putting up almost 71 points per ball game. And we've talked about this before. Winston Shepard is out for this ball game.
Winston Shepard being called for his 5th technical foul in their last game. Automatic suspension for this contest. So that balances it out a little bit. Anthony Tucker not present for the Macau Black Bears. Winston Shepard will not be playing. He is averaging 20.6 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists for the Westports Malaysia Dragons. The key here is for the Dragons not to fight fire with fire. In terms of offense, it's very difficult to match up with a team like the Macau Black Bears. So you have to keep the score low. You have to keep it ugly and hope that you will have the chance to steal the game in the 4th quarter.
And Carlo, as Winston Shepard is out for the Dragons, who do you think besides Egwu and Eversley, who needs to step up the most for the Dragons?
Of course, the most capable among their local scorers as of late has been Yek Liang Chuan. He has been very impressive. He has some games where he has heated up from the outside. Yek was able to score 12.5 points per game in their last couple of outings with 3 triples. So that is big. Getting 3-point shots coming from a local is good for them. Another guy who can step up is Jonathan Wong. He has only been averaging less than 8 points per game, shooting at less than 30%. But we know what he's capable of. He was able to score, I think, 22 points as his career high in the Asean Basketball League. And hopefully for the Westports Malaysia Dragons, they also get something from the returning Loshi Fai. Missed their 3 games but played against the BTN CLS Knights, having 3 points across his name, 1 of 8 from the field. Those 3 guys should be able to step up from the locals of Westports Malaysia.
As we take a look at Mckinney. Now for the Black Bears, do you think Mckinney will take more of a primary ball handler for the Black Bears, or will he remain as a recipient of the passes from the Black Bears?
He has to. He is their most able ball handler, so that is another facet of the ball game that Westports Malaysia can take advantage of. If you trap Mike Mckinney, if you pressure him from baseline to baseline, that might just spend his energy, and who knows, he might start missing a couple of shots, because we know that Anthony Tucker is their main ball handler. Someone else will have to step up to fulfill that role right now.
The score is 5-2 in favor of the Dragons. Roughly 3 minutes in, and here's Mckinney. He is handling the basketball right now. Mckinney drives, kicks it out, and that is still a miss. If you're the Black Bears, obviously the scoring is missing, but you gotta also miss the playmaking, the passing of Tucker.
Everything. You miss his ability to lead this team. He is calm, cool, and collected, never in a hurry, never out of control. And when you play alongside a guy like that, you're also under control. You keep your emotions in check. As right now, Mike Mckinney misses again from the outside. You can see that the defense of the Dragons, it's daring the Black Bears to shoot from the 3-point range.
Of course, in case you guys missed, Anthony Tucker suffered a gruesome Jones fracture injury. Will miss 4 to 6 weeks. Will likely miss the rest of the season and the playoffs included.
That's a tough break for the Macau Black Bears. Again, Anthony Tucker, one of the top contenders for the import MVP award, as Mike Mckinney gets fouled on his way to the hoop, as he will take 2 free throws.
Now, if you're Mike Mckinney, where do you balance trying to get your numbers, knowing that Tucker is out, and then trying to involve your teammates?
I think to start with, you have to establish Ryan Watkins at the post. It will attract the defense of Westports Malaysia, which might open things up for you and the rest of the locals for the Macau Black Bears. If he tries to attack very early, then all of the defense, the concentration of the Dragon defense will all be on him.
Here come the Dragons. Scores 5-3. Favor of the visiting team. Great pass by Egu. Ball is tipped off, and the ball will go to the Black Bears.
Good effort there defensively coming from the Macau Black Bears. This is something that you can definitely improve on. Again, when you miss the output coming from Anthony Tucker, maybe you play harder on defense and try to make up for his loss on the other side of the floor.
And as it seems, Nathan Yu is handling the point guard duties. Mckinney up against RBC. Mckinney from deep. Misses.
But you look at the defensive attention that Mike Mckinney is getting in that high ball screen. Both Nana Egwu and Chris Eversley went at him because they know that to be able to beat the Macau Black Bears, they only have to stop Mike Mckinney from scoring.
And right on cue, Mckinney misses. That last get was from Chin Cheng Hua. Eversley from deep. No go. Rebound goes to Macau. On the counter, Nathan Yu with the basketball. We've talked a lot about Tucker, but what about the loss of someone like Winston Shepard for the Dragons?
That's also big because he is their leading scorer with 20.6 points per game. But we all know that Anthony Tucker is the better player among the two as of right now, as of their numbers. So it should just level the playing field. Again, if you're the Dragons, it's all about defense for you. If you can take advantage of the absence of Anthony Tucker by pressuring Mike Mckinney, that could mean winning the ball game, as they will have to get this one after that Mono Vampire victory against the Saigon Heat early on.
Foul on the floor. That will go against the Black Bears, 7-5 in favor of Malaysia. Now, you mentioned the win by Mono Vampire. How big of an impact is that in today's game?
It's huge. It plays to the psyche of the Westports Malaysia Dragons because they are now in a must-win situation. But right now, we're heading into a timeout where the Westports Malaysia Dragons up 7-5 against the Macau Black Bears.
Welcome back to the University of Macau, where the Dragons have taken a 7-5 lead over the Black Bears 5 minutes into the first period. And this early, Mckinney already has 5 points on 2 of 5 shooting.
Yes, all of the points for the Macau Black Bears, which just means he is working exceptionally hard on the offensive side of things. Let's also see if they will, talking about the Dragons, if they will attack Mckinney defensively.
Loshifai misfires, rebound, Dragons. Chin fakes the 3, kicks it out. Loshifai, another try, no. Eversley to Egu. Great defense by the Black Bears.
Good swarming defense, leading to a turnover against the Westports Malaysia Dragons. Mckinney attacking once again.
Great feed inside to Watkins.
There you go. That was what we were talking about earlier. If Mckinney can create for Ryan Watkins down low, it will open things up for him as we now have our first deadlock at 7-all.
Watkins, of course, the league leading rebounder, but as you mentioned, he needs to put up points tonight.
Well, he is not a bad scorer by any means, averaging 22.1 points per game, shooting 55% from the field. He shoots at a very high percentage, so it is a good idea to try to go to him early as Mckinney adds to his tally with an N1 opportunity.
Basket counts for Mckinney.
Mckinney, this is his second year in the league. And outside from the injury of Tucker, Mckinney has been playing outstanding basketball this season, way better than last year.
Oh, amazing. Amazing effort coming from Mckinney because of the rule changes that we had. You know, the value of heritage imports, of imports coming from the region, took a massive hit, but Mckinney showing that he can perform up to higher standards, up to world import standards, and he is leading Macau right now. He has 8 points in the ball game, and the 2 points that he didn't score, he assisted on.
Black Bears applying a little bit of pressure on the Dragons at the backcourt. Eversley drives inside, kicks it out. Swarming defense again by the Black Bears.
It has been very effective as the Westports Malaysia Dragons have found it hard to attack the interior defense of the Black Bears.
We're trying to get the ball down low to Watkins. Pass is tipped off. Jennings Leung, of course, former member of the Wolf Warriors. He signed with the Black Bears a couple of weeks ago, or would say rather about 2 weeks ago.
It's very interesting that this early in the game, Nana Egu already got a break from Coach Perlman. As Zishin will be manning Ryan Watkins. Let's see if he'll be able to stay in front of him. He won't, as Watkins converts a three-point shot.
Ryan Watkins gives the Black Bears a 4-point lead. 3 minutes left in the first period. Jonathan Wong with a hesitation dribble. Wong gets the basketball back, drives inside, back out again. That was a missed shot from Chen.
That was a tough possession. Nothing happening there for the Westports Malaysia Dragons.
Lo Shifai bringing down the ball to Eversley. Back to Lo Shifai. Lo Shifai misses. Mckinney on the break. Oh, Nifty pass. A little bit too low.
Actually, Mckinney lost the handle on the ball before he threw that pass. That was why it was a little too forward for Derek King, leading to that turnover. I was about to say that halfway through the first quarter, Westports Malaysia was doing a great job of keeping the score low. They only allowed 5 points when we had our first timeout. And when you do that against a team averaging 100 points per game, you're doing very well. But all of a sudden, the Black Bears heating up at the back end of our first quarter.
Obviously, they go to Wong. Wong has 10 to work with. Wong puts it up from deep. Misses.
He wanted to take advantage of his defender going under the screen, but he could not convert as Mckinney brings the ball down for the Black Bears.
10 on the shot clock for Watkins. Watkins versus Egu. Watkins, short stab. That's good.
You know, if you're Egu, you will have to defend better than that. He is known as one, if not the best big man defender in the league, but he will have to fight harder as to not allow Ryan Watkins to get position inside.
That is a foul on Jennings. 1 minute and 34 seconds left in the first, and it seems like the loss of Shepard is taking more of a toll of the Dragons then rather than the loss of Tucker for the Black Bears.
Because they can't find any player who will step up to convert for them on offense. That has been the biggest struggle for Westports Malaysia this entire season. As you mentioned on top of the broadcast, they are the worst team in terms of putting up points on the board. And without their leading scorer, they're struggling even more.
Nice pass from Mckinney to the corner. That is good from Jennings.
Check out the numbers of Mike Mckinney, 8 points, and that will be his 3rd assist of the ball game. And just like that, the Macau Black Bears now up by 9 points, 18 to 9.
Mike Mckinney has been putting on a show here at the University of Macau as the Black Bears have taken an 18-9 lead, 1 minute and 13 remaining in the first period. And Carly, it seems that Mckinney has answered to the call, whether it's putting up points on the scoreboard, passing, finding the open guy. He has been the man for the Black Bears.
Stepping up to that leadership also for the Macau Black Bears in the absence of Anthony Tucker. Again, he will be absent for 4 to 6 weeks. Meanwhile, a basket here off a timeout coming from the Dragons to end that dry spell.
Coming up on 50 seconds remaining in the first. Here is Jennings. Dangerous pass to Mckinney. Mckinney putting the moves on low. She finds Mike Mckinney. Buries the 3. Right between the eyes, Mike Mckinney.
You know, we see step back threes all the time, but that one, he leapt out to the 3-point range.
Off a spin move.
Amazing move coming from Mike Mckinney. 11 points and 3 assists in the ballgame.
Just about a 2-second differential between game clock and shot clock. Now it's a 10-point lead for the Black Bears, and the man of the moment, Mike Mckinney, is with the basketball. McKinney directing traffic, 5 seconds to work with. Mckinney, floater, that's good.
The money man for the Macau Black Bears has been Mike Mckinney. Eversley will not be able to beat the buzzer. What a performance standing tall for the Black Bears. Mckinney, he wore a Tucker shirt to the warm-ups, dedicating this one to his teammate. And now he's taking full advantage of the opportunity presented to him as he leads the Black Bears with 13 markers. They're up 23-11.
Back inside the University of Macau, the Black Bears 23, the Dragons 11. This is Jonas Armena together with Carlo Pamintuan. Carlo, obviously, the big star there of the first quarter, Mike Mckinney. What can you say about his performance so far?
Nothing short of amazing. 13 points on 5 of 8 from the field. Couple of rebounds and 3 assists for Mike Mckinney already. The big story is still Westports Malaysia's failure to score well from the field. Only 27% shooting. Macau, meanwhile, shooting at a much better clip at 52%, and that has led to this dozen-point lead, 23-11, as we start our second period.
Aberstee? Foul called on Watkins. And if you're the Westports Malaysia Dragons, you see an early deficit, what do you need to do?
Just trust your defense. Go hard at Mike Mckinney and hope that he slows down at some point. This is also a good idea, attacking the middle and challenging the defense of Ryan Watkins, committing his first personal foul here. Eversley connecting on the free throw. You know what makes Macau very dangerous is that they're the #1 team in terms of 3 points made. 279 3-point shots, make that 282 after making 3 in the first quarter. And they're also the second in terms of percentage, so they are a very efficient 3-point shooting team.
They are red hot from deep. And here's Mike Mckinney, forces it up and in.
You know, what's good about Mike Mckinney is that he never kills his dribble. He can get to any spot that he wants against any defender that Westports Malaysia has put in front of him thus far.
Here is Wong. Uses the 2 screens. Here's Tan. Nowhere to go. Where will the offense come from for Malaysia? Wong has to put it up. Gets that to go.
Lucky break there coming from the Westports Malaysia Dragons. That play was going nowhere for them, but they were bailed out by that basket.
Here's Jennings. Knocks that one down.
Now that's the second 3-point shot of Jennings Leong. He did not score in his debut for the Macau Black Bears, but now he's 2 for 2 from downtown.
Nana Egu, top of the key. That is Tan Wei Long. Eversley takes aim from deep. Misfires. Watkins with a rebound.
If you can notice, the Dragons have not been able to dump the ball to Nana Egu. We know he is a capable scorer. Remember that game against the Singapore Slingers where he led the team in scoring with 26 points, but now he is barely touching the basketball.
And they're settling for outside shots right there. Wong with a miss. Ball will stay with Macau. And if you just joined us, Part of today's action in the ABL, the Mono Vampire winning over the Saigon Heat in a thrilling 89-83 overtime victory in Thailand. And Carlo, what does that win by Mono do to this game?
Oh, they're now up in the rankings with 8 wins against 14 losses. Westports Malaysia behind them with 6 wins and 14 losses, making this a very important ball game for the Dragons. But you still have to look forward to those 2 games that the Dragons and Mono Vampire will play against each other, because that might just determine our final member of the playoff cast. Again, Macau with a win here will be able to head into the playoffs, and they will tow Saigon, CLS, and Hong Kong with them if they secure a victory against the Dragons.
A very important game for the Dragons here. We called it Nanaegu, but he is fouled on the 3 by Ryan Watkins.
If you would believe it, he is actually their best 3-point shooter in this team, averaging 36% from the 3-point range. Puts up about 12 points per game. He can heat up for 26 points, as we said, against the Singapore Slingers. But then he can also have games like what he had against Mono Vampire, where he only scored 5 points in that contest, which led to the loss for the Dragons. So you never know what you're getting. You're going to get offensively coming from Nanaegu. And of course, the Dragons are hoping it'll be one of those games like Singapore when he is locked in on offense, because he can shoot it from the outside.
If you're the Dragons, you are 6-14 on a 5-game losing streak. And you know, the other team, Mono Vampire, is gaining steam. And if you're the head coach, Jamie Perlman, what do you say to your team heading into this ball game?
Don't pay attention to the result of Mono Vampire's game. Run your own race, because if you win out, if you take care of your own business, it would not matter what Mono does. If you can deal 2 losses on their tally in those 2 matchups against them, that will spell the difference between heading into the playoffs or heading into an early exit in the 9th season of the ASEAN Basketball League.
That is you with the miss. Still no goal for the Black Bears. They regain possession. Wow, what a tip in. That is Liu Jihao. And as you mentioned, Carlo, there's Mono and Westports will still face each other twice later this month.
Just going back quickly to that possession, that is unforgivable for the Westports Malaysia Dragons, because Ryan Watkins is not on the floor. You should be able to get a defensive rebound, but instead the Dragons allowed 2, 3, 4 offensive rebounds before getting that set of second chance points coming from Liu Jihao. You have to play with more effort than that if you're Westports Malaysia.
6:40 remaining in the second. It's an 11-point lead for the Black Bears. Mike Mckinney thought about the 3. They swing the ball over. Beautiful feed inside by Liu, but the ball is tipped away by the Dragons. Here we are on the other end. Chin, defended by Mckinney. Again, shot clock running down once again. Here's Tan. Wide open 3 is good.
That was Diek Liang Chuan. Again, he has made 3 triples each in their last 2 games, so you will have to check him. Talking about the defense of the Macau Black Bears, he must be a marked man from the outside.
But on the other end, Mike Mckinney quickly answers.
Defense.
Chin, lefty layup, no go.
Let's go.
Jihao with the rebound.
I really don't understand why the ball is not going to Nanaegu. As another assist here coming from Mike Mckinney, setting up his center Tian.
Mike Mckinney is just toying with the Malaysia defense.
No Ryan Watkins on the floor, and they're not going to their center on the other side, talking about Egwu.
They are sifting for outside jumpers. And a steal by Jennings. Goes all the way for 2.
8 points off the bench for Jennings Young. A couple of 3-point shots. Good effort on the defensive side as he takes the ball away and waltzes home for an easy layup.
Obviously. Chin. Back to Eversley. Again, the defense of the Black Bears has been on point tonight.
Multitude of defenders in front of the two imports as Mike Mckinney misses from the outside. Another offensive rebound, but Nathan Yu could not finish.
On the counter, here's Eversley. Stutter dribble. Layup is good.
That's a good idea coming from Chris Eversley. Try to attack on the break. As you know that Macau is focusing on getting offensive rebounds. That means they do not have enough defense if you run against them.
Steal by Egu. Coming up on 4 minutes remaining. It is a 36-24 advantage by Macau. Here it is. They go to Nana Egu, but Egu decides to kick it out. Nathan Yu.
That's an offensive foul. And it will indeed be called that way as he warded off with his offhand. Look at this play one more time. Nathan Yu erases the defense of Chin by warding off with his elbow, leading to the turnover against the Macau Black Bears. We have a timeout on the floor, 36-24 in favor of the home squad, Black Bears.
Back inside the University of Macau, the Black Bears have a 12-point lead, 36-24 against the Westports Malaysia Dragons. And the star of the ball game so far is Mike Mckinney's 17 points, 5 assists. And for the Dragons, Chris Eversley with 7 points, but as we mentioned pre-game, his shooting woes continue. He is 2 for 7 so far for 28% from the field.
That's a tough part of the imports for the Westports Malaysia Dragons. Again, you're missing Shepard in this game. We have a guy like Eversley shooting less than 40% from the field. And Egbu, who shoots actually a decent clip from the field at 46%, but he's not taking shots here in the first half. Let's see if he becomes more engaged in their offense from here on out.
Chin knocks it down from deep. That's a guy who can shoot. Chin Cheng Hua. Here he is guarding Mike Mckinney. Mckinney taking his time. Still has the basketball. Long three-pointer. Catches air.
That was good defense coming from the Westports Malaysia Dragons. You can see there. Chris Eversley was shadowing Mike Mckinney. He was sagging off a little bit coming from Ryan Watkins, knowing that Nana Egu would be there inside to protect the paint. He wanted to prevent a possible drive coming from Mike Mckinney, while Chin would defend him if he takes a three-point shot.
Carter, if you're the Dragons, you focus your defense solely on Mckinney, or you go the other way and let him have his number, just so the other guys like Watkins, Nathan Yu don't get theirs.
It's tough. You have to pick your poison. Right now, Mike Mckinney is hot, so you'll have to stay home on the other guys. But you're leaving guys wide open like this one, and you'll also pay for it. That's another three-point shot assisted by Mike Mckinney.
That was Chan Jong Chan knocking it down from deep. Wow, what a shot. Chin Cheng Hua.
So the Dragons are very lucky that Chin has come out to play in this ball game. He's keeping them alive and in this contest so far.
Great defense by the Dragons. Here they are on the run. Jonathan Wong finishes the play. Here come the Dragons.
So it is the locals doing damage for the Westports Malaysia Dragons. Eversley has been trying his best. Egwu only has 4 points with the effort of Chin and Wong conspiring to inch them closer, down by 9 still.
Here's Jennings. A bit short on that one.
Because it was well defended by Jonathan Wong. The other 2 3-point shots that he made were wide open.
Wow, what a pass from Jonathan Wong. Chris Eversley misses the gimme.
And this will be a jump ball situation. That was a tough miss, yo.
And he hears it from the crowd here in the University of Macau.
Out of 1,000 times, he will make that shot 999 times. But not that one.
Jonathan Wong had a good presence of mind to whip the ball over to Eversley. Eversley could not knock it down.
Again, it's the percentages for the Westports Malaysia Dragons. Eversley, as we said, only shooting 38% from the field.
But you gotta love the effort from Jonathan Wong, Chin Cheng-Hua, from Yak. These guys have been aggressive so far in the early goings.
But it saps out your energy when you see a teammate miss a shot like that, because you put in so much effort into getting a stop against the Macau Black Bears, only to lose that opportunity, that golden chance to score a basket.
Wide open again. Chan rims that one out.
But that was a great look once again coming from the offense of the Macau Black Bears. The Dragons will have to adjust.
Coming up, a minute remaining. Roshi Fai takes aim. Too strong. Yung with the rebound. We go to Mckinney. Stop and pop. Nope. Decides. Loses the handle, actually. 15 to work with for Watkins. Being guarded by Nana Egu. Watkins squeezes his way inside. Loses the leather. Eversley. 1-2 dribble. Too strong. And Jonathan Wong is fouled.
And the fans here in Macau letting him hear it once again. Another miss from the shaded area coming from Chris Eversley. Luckily for him, they get the ball back as Jonathan Wong steps up to the free throw line for 2. Look at this miss one more time. That was a wild one. Eversley asking for a foul. The referee's not biting.
Here's Wong. So far, 8 points. 6 rebounds. Misfires on that free throw.
Already performing above his average at 7.6 points per game. Also double of his rebounding numbers.
Watkins, 4-3. And he's now back up to 11. Last possession here. Eversley, 10 seconds on the game clock. Roshi 5. Eversley, 5 to go. 4. Eversley behind the back. And that is a turnover from Chris Eversley.
Good solid defense coming from the Macau Black Bears single coverage. Forcing that turnover against Eversley.
And that will do it for the first half. Mike Mckinney has been relentless scoring the basketball as the Macau Black Bears have taken a 42-31 lead as we head to the halftime break. Trying to will his team, helped by Nana Egu, Jonathan Wong, and Chin Cheng-Hua. Black Bears trying to recover from that injury from Tucker, while the Dragons want to end their 5-game losing streak. But they have a tough one here in the University of Macau. One more half remaining. Black Bears 42, the Dragons 31.
What makes a champion? Passion, grit, determination.
A challenge can make or break you. Work hard in silence. Let success be your noise.
Never stop, you can only get better. The only one that can hold you back is yourself.
I'm a warrior. I put my war paint on.
We are the composers of our own destiny. Nothing is out of reach if we dare to dream the impossible. Believe the unbelievable and never take no for an answer. Because greatness is in all of us. For we are all champions.
Officially reached double digits in our ABL season. As we take a look at the top 10, we begin in style, courtesy of this Brandon Roser throwdown for San Miguel Ala Pilipinas. Although the Black Bears would eventually take convincing win over the defending champions, but Ala making it look good courtesy of Roser. And at number 9 is this nifty pass from Douglas Herring over to Daryl Watkins. Check out this beautiful bounce pass as Watkins able to finish courtesy of that beautiful look offered to him by Herring. Check it out once again as Herring able to use his court vision to find the long-haired warrior of the BTN CLS Knights for the N1 play. In at number 8, we go to the Puerto Rican connection of Ala Pilipinas as PJ Ramos once again with that football pass over to Ronaldo Balkman. How many times have we seen that this season? And then once again, on another play, we have Balkman able to find Ramos, return the favor. PJ able to get that slamma-jamma. First, this baseball pass from Ramos, perfectly found is Balkman for the wide open jam. And then Balkman saying, if we're gonna spread the sugar, have some as well. That's a big man getting this nifty pass and the slam home from Balkmania. Number 7, check out this defensive stop of the Formosa Dreamers as Malcolm Miller rejecting all over the shot from the Macau Black Bears. At number 6 is the unstoppable Mike Mckinney, who has all the moves in the holster. This time he goes with the hezi against Will Artino to finish with the reverse layup. Beautiful shot there from the reigning Heritage MVP, Mckinney, getting all the way to the rim. That's at number 6. At number 5, we've got Michael Holyfield of Hong Kong Eastern. Full head of steam, getting all the way there for the jam. Quickly responding to Mike Singletary and rejecting that shot on the other end. Beautiful two-way action from the world import of Hong Kong Eastern, making an impact on both ends of the floor to keep his squad within striking distance. In at number 4 is the reigning defending local MVP as Ray Parks. Euro stepping all the way to the rim, finishing over Mike Mckinney, fooling everyone in a white uniform. Swooping all the way in for the layup is the black masked MVP of Ala. At number 3, to give some props to Anthony Tucker, who we will not be seeing for a while in this countdown, as he will be missing time with an unfortunate foot injury. But boy, when he's feeling it, he is absolutely feeling it as he hits that buzzer-beating triple for the Black Bears. Cheng Wei, hezi once again, using some English to finish over the Macau Black Bears. Cheng Wei with a gorgeous spin. That's called a sminny, and that's called a reverse layup. But at number 1, we've got to give props to the Wolf Warriors, as Zong Xian Chao from out of nowhere absolutely spikes home this slamma-jamma for the Wolf Warriors, and adding one more for good measure as he goes with the spin move and the dipsy-do layup. Where did that come from, and why haven't we seen that more this season from Zong Xian Chao? What a shot, and what a way to make his way into our ABL Top 10 Countdown.
Where the Black Bears are up 42-31 against the Westports Malaysia Dragons. And Carlo, what did you see in that first half?
Field goal percentage heavily in favor of the Macau Black Bears at 47% compared to only 34 for the Westports Malaysia Dragons. The same problem still persists for the Dragons as they could not get into a proper offensive flow. It was all because of the effort of Mckinney in the first quarter, where he scored 15 points, but he slowed down on offense in the second quarter, and that was when the rest of his teammates picked things up. Jenning Leung specifically adding 8 points off the bench, while Ryan Watkins has already scored 10 points. And then a surprise addition coming from Tian Zhongqian, adding 5 points to their tally as they were able to hold on to a double-digit lead, 42-31, heading into the second half of action.
And of course, in case you just joined us, no Winston Shepherd for Malaysia, as he had to serve his suspension from the league after accumulating 5 technical fouls. And on the other end, no Anthony Tucker, who suffered a potential season-ending injury in his previous game against the Formosa Dreamers. So Tucker is out 4 to 6 weeks due to a Jones fracture. But in his stead, Mckinney has picked up his play. He had 17 points in the first half.
You know, of course, you're looking to win this ball game if you're the Macau Black Bears, but you're also keeping an eye out for a possible substitute import to come in and replace Anthony Tucker. Of course, it will not be easy to get one that quickly, and it will be even harder still to inculcate him back into their system. Chemistry is very tough to build. As we know, Mckinney and Anthony Tucker have played alongside each other for the second straight year, as they were also teammates with Chong Son Kung Fu last season before moving on to the Macau Black Bears together.
So a couple of misses here in the early goings of the third. And that is a foul.
Tough break for Chin because he actually heard the whistle, but instead he opted to pass instead of take the shot. Could have earned him a couple of free throws. Instead, it'll just be a baseline throw-in for the Westports Malaysia Dragons.
And if you're the Black Bears, what do you want to keep doing, especially in this second half?
Let's keep attacking. Keep challenging the defense of the Westports Malaysia Dragons, especially inside. Dump the ball down to Ryan Watkins. Space the floor with shooters. Jenning Leung specifically shooting very well in this game from the outside, with Mckinney creating for the rest of his teammates. That should be exactly what the doctor ordered for the Macau Black Bears. For the Westports Malaysia Dragons on the other end, more effort on the offensive glass, and make sure that every opportunity you get to run, you take advantage of it.
So no points yet on the scoreboard here in the second half for either team. That was a miss from Eversley.
It has been a struggler of a ball game for Eversley. 2 of 11 from the field now.
Mckinney, top of the key, takes on 4 defenders. And he is fouled going up for the layup.
You see the difference between being a veteran and Mckinney, knowing, sensing that there was already contact, still forced up a shot even at an impossible angle, as it will earn him a couple of free throws. On the other side, Shin decided to pass it off, and now Mckinney is stepping to the line for 2 free throws.
Mckinney, 17 points, 3 rebounds, not to mention 6 assists. Gets that first free throw to go. He goes
Again,
1 for 2.
Playoff seat already up for grabs for the Macau Black Bears in this game. If they score a win against the Westports Malaysia Dragons, they will be heading into the quarterfinals, and they will take Hong Kong Eastern, the Saigon Heat, and the BTN CLS Knights alongside them. So, of course, all of those teams also eager to see the result of this matchup.
So that's 4 teams. 4 teams will head to the playoffs should the Black Bears win.
And that will mean that only the final spot will be up for grabs, and it will be contested by Mono Vampire and the Westports Malaysia Dragons. Meanwhile, a 3-point shot here coming from Wong. That's a big make, a confidence booster for the Dragons here in the third quarter.
Here is Jennings. Pick and roll with Watkins. They go to the corner. That is short. Offensive rebound goes to Macau. They reset. Jennings attacks. Stops. Finds Mckinney. Slashes his way inside. Tip is no go. Watkins. Offensive rebound once again. Watkins buffers his way.
Already lost the ball on his way up. A lucky break there coming from Ryan Watkins, but it was born because of their effort, and not just him. His teammates also helping out on the offensive glass, leading to those second chance points.
Uji Hao rebound. Outlet pass. Mike Mckinney all alone.
Amazing team play coming from the Macau Black Bears, turning defense into offense. A big rebound coming from Liu Ji-hao, and that perfect outlet pass to Mike Mckinney.
Liu Ji-hao is providing a little bit of offense and second half rebounding. And just as I mentioned his name, he is called for the foul. That is the hold. That is the hold.
I think there was a sleek spot on the floor that Macau wanted to be taken care of. That's why Liu Ji-hao was forced to commit that foul.
And that is what Mike Mckinney and Ryan Watkins are trying to explain to the referee. But it is a sideline inbound for Malaysia. Anaegu, one-on-one against Watkins, decides to kick it out. Eversley, too strong. Rebound goes to Chin. Ball is stolen away. Ryan Watkins leading the break. Watkins goes all the way for two.
The big man showing us his handles. Watkins getting the steal. Going coast to coast with that layup. 15-point lead now for the Black Bears, 49-34.
Just under 7 minutes remaining in the third. Wong loses the leather. Here is Jennings. Kick out. That could have been
another steal for the Macau Black Bears. Fourth straight steal here in the third quarter.
Watkins misfires. So two straight misses from deep from the Black Bears. Chin wide open. Too strong. So the shooting woes continue for Malaysia. King on the other end. King knocks it down.
They're just letting it loose. Full of confidence, these Macau Black Bears, knowing that their teammates will be gunning for offensive rebounds. They will be getting extra possessions. So their guards just letting it loose from the outside.
50. The Macau Black Bears, of course, are 11-9, fourth place in the standings. While the Westports Malaysia Dragons are 6-14 for ninth place and have lost their last 5.
Defense.
You know, the tough part about it for the Westports Malaysia Dragons is that you know that you have the capacity to win against the best teams in the league. you don't beat the San Miguel Ala Pilipinas if you don't have the philosophy, the talent. Then they were able to score that big victory at home. It's all about getting things together. You know, if your imports shoot a little bit better from the field, if you defend a little bit better, and then this 5-game losing streak would not have been possible for the Westports Malaysia Dragons, but everything falling apart for them at the most inopportune moment.
And you're right, as the number 8 seed, Mono Vampire Basketball Club, are gaining steam, winning their last 3 ball games. And the ABL playoffs, the ABL seedings will go down the wire as a breakaway. King all alone. Layup is good.
Simply too many turnovers for the Westports Malaysia Dragons. That was a great idea. Coming from Chris Eversley, wanted to dump the ball down low to Nana Egwo. Unfortunately, there was a malfunction at the junction. The two players could not connect. Another steal here for Ryan Watkins.
Watkins, stutter dribble, goes up, and he is fouled. And he will go to the line for 2.
5 steals here in the third quarter for the Macau Black Bears, many of them leading to points off turnovers on the other side. That has been the big story of the third period, 54-34 now, as they have outscored the Westports Malaysia Dragons 12-3 here in the third period.
Malaysia had the right idea going down low to Egwu, but Watkins quick to get that leather. Watkins 14 points, 13 rebounds already.
Let me just go back to that big first quarter performance of Mike Mckinney. It calmed everyone down. It was a message to the rest of his team that even without Anthony Tucker, we're okay. I'm here to take care of the offense. Worry about the other aspects of the game. Be free for open jumpers. Fight for offensive rebounds. Dive for loose balls, and we will win this ball game. And so far, Mckinney has not added a lot to his tally, only 20 points so far after scoring 15 of them in the first period. But they're up big, 21-point lead for the Macau Black Bears.
Liu Jihao goes down, but it's not a foul, but a travel called on Liu Jihao. And great point, Carlo, and Mckinney is taking control of the offense. He's bringing down the ball and finding open guys, but right there, Liu Jihao just called for too many steps.
Drag this pivot foot, Liu Jihao turns the ball over to the Westports Malaysia Dragons. But if you're the Dragons, you cannot feel defeated, even if you're down by 21 points.
Steal by Jennings. Liu Jihao. Put back slam. A miss from Watkins.
But you don't mind those misses, especially if they're coming off steals.
Misses continue for the Dragons.
Great gang rebounding for the Macau Black Bears. One and done on offense for the Dragons.
Mike Mckinney, they go to Watkins. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Watkins, hook shot. That is a turnover. The ball will stay with the men in white.
14 seconds to
That was an easy defensive rebound for the Westports Malaysia Dragons. But they lost the ball to the baseline. Fresh 14 on the shot clock for the Black Bears.
We go to the corner. Liu Jihao. Corner 3 is good. Liu Jihao.
Another assist for Mike Mckinney. That is number 8 for him. But everyone is locked in. Everyone is dialed in for the Macau Black Bears. Everyone willing to shoot, especially from the outside.
The Dragons need some offense right now. Another steal. But Malaysia recovers a hard foul against the Black Bears, and Nana Egwo will troop to the line. Here's a replay, a hard foul from Jennings.
Look at the leadership of Mike Mckinney right there, giving Jennings Leong a high five, saying it was a good foul, because if you did not give that foul up, it would have been an automatic 2-point basket for Nana Egwo, but now you send him and test him from the free throw line.
Nana Egwo, quiet 4 points so far. 5 rebounds, 4 assists. .
Now for Nana Egwo, it's a combination of not getting enough passes coming from his teammates. And when he does get the ball, he simply throws it back out for a reset in their offense. He has not been very aggressive in looking for his own shot, which is exactly what they need. Again, with the absence of Vincent Shepard.
So they go to Jennings. Watkins. Carl, do you like this setup with Mckinney? Not really the primary ball handler, but guys like Nathan Yu and Jennings Leung will first initiate the offense, and Mckinney will take over once the shot clock ticks down to 14, as we see right now.
It keeps everyone interested because they know that the ball will go to them at some point, and that is why everyone is playing hard for the Macau Black Bears. They know that they will get their own opportunities to get their points on the board.
Near steal by Liu Jihao. Technical foul, Liu Jihao. And you saw that gesture. He was trying to explain to the ref, didn't you see that? And our referee will not have it.
It's very important to keep your emotions in check, especially when you're up by 23 points. Any sort of help that you give to your opponents will not work out.
Here's that replay.
Yep. Tough to see from that angle because the ball was tapped from behind. Liu Jihao saying that he was not able to touch it. Referees deciding otherwise. Again, 5 steals, here in the third quarter for the Macau Black Bears. Too many turnovers, too many wasted opportunities coming from the Westports Malaysia Dragons.
Let's see if this technical free throw will be the turnaround that Malaysia is waiting for.
It's something that Chris Eversley desperately needs, as he has been shooting miserably from the field. 2 of 13 thus far in the ball game. Maybe seeing that ball go through the hoop will give him some confidence for the rest of this contest.
Here he is, Eversley. Muscles his way inside. Still a miss. Nana Egwo is fouled with that putback attempt.
2 of 14 now for Eversley. As we said, he is not having a good season in terms of his field goal percentage at 38% only. Good thing for him, Nana Egwo was able to stay with the play and get the offensive rebound, even drawing the foul. Now, we would like to extend our belated birthday greetings to our hard-working COO, Jericho Ilagan, celebrating his birthday a couple of days ago. Warmest birthday greetings to you, sir.
Again, this is the 9th season of the Asean Basketball League Rise to Greatness. It is a 20-point lead, 58-38, 2.5 minutes remaining in the third canto. Here he is. Mckinney. Step back, 3. Nowhere to go. Gets it back to King. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Watkins. No go. But the ball will stay with the Black Bears. Tremendous effort by the home team.
That was Chan Zhongyan winning the possession for his squad. Great effort coming from the Black Bears, earning them this extra possession.
Watkins against 4 defenders. To Jennings. Oh, if Jennings locked that one down. Offensive rebound, another one.
They're giving away too many opportunities, talking about the Dragons, giving the ball up. Turnovers and offensive rebounds. Mike Mckinney will be heading to the line for 2 free throws.
Number 6, Benjamin Sim, that is first, and that is the 14th foul for Westports Malaysia Dragons. Subdivision Wong replacing Benjamin Sim.
Minute and 49 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Mike Mckinney could add on to this 20-point lead. The Westports Malaysia Dragons have a mountain to climb as they will have to work double time, quicken the pace in the fourth quarter to inch closer in this contest.
Mike Mckinney, 20 points already, 4 rebounds. But as we've talked about it, he is the leader and the facilitator for this Black Bear squad. Knocks down the first.
No, I think we were looking at this the wrong way. When we saw that Anthony Tucker will not be available for this game, you start to wonder, where will the 25 points come from? Where will the 10 assists come from? Who will make sure that they get to 103 points? The Macau Black Bears solved it the other way. They played with more effort on defense. They limited the scoring of the Westports Malaysia Dragons, so you won't have to pour in 103 points in a game to be able to score a victory. That is a very smart strategy coming from this team.
And if you're facing a team like the Westports Malaysia Dragons who only put up roughly 70 points per game, you want to make this a defensive contest. And Mckinney is fouled going inside. And he will troop to the line. Another 2 free throws for Mike Mckinney. Knocks down the first. 1:23 remaining. Goes Sioux 4-2. It is a 22-point lead. 1:20 remaining. To the corner. That is Yek. To Eversley. Shot clock down to 6. Wow. That was a wild shot from Wong.
You have to credit the defense of the Macau Black Bears in that possession.
Blocked by Wong. Here's Eversley. Loses the basketball.
Unbelievable bad luck here coming from Chris Eversley. Already shooting 2 of 14 from the field. Great defensive effort coming from Derek King, bodying up on Eversley and forcing that turnover.
That was just about like the 3rd time that Eversley has missed or has lost the basketball from point blank range.
You saw him wiping his hands. You have felt that his hands were wet, leading to that turnover. Good pass down low with Ryan Watkins scoring on the reverse.
Watkins just beat the shot clock. That is now a 64-40 lead. 20 seconds remaining in the 3rd. Wong, top of the key. Asks for a pick. Eversley has to put it up. He does. Misses. Wong, tip, no go. There's a whistle on the floor. But that is how the 4th quarter will end. Thought we saw a shot clock violation, but that will do it for the 3rd period. 64-40 in favor of the Black Bears. A big 24-point lead led by Mckinney, Watkins, and the rest of the Black Bears. Back for more after this. Back inside the University of Macau, Yoyo Sarmiento on the call together with Carlo Pamintuan. As we took a look at the scores by quarter, that was a very dominant 3rd period by the Black Bears, 27-9.
And it was their defense that dictated the 3rd quarter, getting 5 steals in the period. And now the Dragons are only shooting at 28% from the field, 14 of 49 attempts. And that is encapsulated by the performance of Chris Eversley, who has struggled with only 8 points in the contest. 2 of 15 shooting from the field. He has 9 rebounds, but also has turned the ball over 6 times in this game.
It is a 24-point lead. If you're the Dragons, what do you need to do? What do you need to change to get this offense going?
Speed things up. That is about the only thing that they can do right now. Pressure the backcourt, force turnovers, get fast break points, connect from the three-point range. They have to play a perfect fourth quarter to be able to get back into this contest, and they will have to hope that it'll be a huge meltdown coming from the Macau Black Bears.
As you saw on your screens, Coach Jamie Perlman, probably what you mentioned, Carl, probably quite a few of those was mentioned during that huddle. And here we go to start the fourth period.
No, it's really unfortunate timing for the Westports Malaysia Dragons that Winston Shepard was suspended for this ball game, because he could have been the X factor for them. When you have 3 imports going up against a team that only has 2, you have a distinct advantage as Ryan Watkins opens up the fourth quarter with a 3-point shot.
Ryan Watkins has been solid throughout this ball game. Near steal by the Black Bears. That is Yek to Nanaegu, back to Yek. 5 seconds on the shot clock for the Dragons. He has to put it up. Catches air from Yek.
24 seconds of hard-working, tenacious defense coming from the Macau Black Bears, leading to another turnover. If you're the coaching staff of Macau, you just have to be so happy with the effort that this team is putting on the floor, especially on the defensive end.
And this defensive effort will be needed as the Black Bears will actually face the defending champion San Miguel Ala Pilipinas in their next game. And that will be on March 8th. Offensive rebound once again working for the Black Bears. But the hook shot from Watkins is a miss. Chin. Down low to Egu. Back to Chin. And that's the problem right there. Nana Egu getting the leather, but more often than not, Opsa kicks it out. Nathan Yu, wide open, knocks it down.
Unselfish play coming from Ryan Watkins. He actually had a shot available, but he saw that the defense, the double team, has already committed to him, leaving Nathan Yu wide open for the 3. A 30-point lead now for Macau.
And if you're the Malaysia Dragons, the comeback effort has to happen now, but I see it right there from Mike Mckinney. Foul on Nanaegu.
So the next game of the Macau Black Bears will be against the San Miguel Ala Pilipinas this coming Friday. And interestingly, Alab still has not lost at home. Macau hoping to be the first team to score a win in the Philippines. The Westports Malaysia Dragons will head back home on March 10 to face off against the Saigon Heat. Again, the 2 important ball games for Westports Malaysia are the 2 ones against Moto Vampire.
So both these teams have 5 games remaining as Mckinney jumper. That's good.
Mike Mckinney has been content in setting up his teammates and attacking, but now he wants to take over the offense for the Black Bears.
Nanaegu. And there's Eversley finally getting a field goal.
Eversley finally hitting double digits with 10 points in the ball game.
Mckinney dancing with the basketball. Beautiful feed to Chad. Mckinney picks up the mess.
Sticking with the play, not assuming that Chan will be able to score on that shot, staying in the paint and scoring on the putback.
Up and under move from Jonathan Wong.
You know, the locals have done their share in this game for the Westports Malaysia Dragons. But when your two imports have only combined for 19 points on 7 of 22 shooting from the field, it is very tough to contend with the Macau Black Bears, even without Anthony Tucker in their lineup.
Beautiful feed inside. Mckinney finds Chan once again. 30-point lead, rather 32-point lead for the Black Bears. 76-44, 6 and 35 remaining in this ball game. Another duel with San Miguel Ala Pilipinas, Wolf Warriors, and finally they wrap up the regular season with the Singapore Singers. And for the Westports Malaysia Dragons, they're the ones who will have a very interesting schedule down the stretch against the Heat, Slingers, and 2 straight games against Mono before wrapping things up with the Formosa Dreamers.
And with this impending win for the Macau Black Bears, they will be heading into the playoffs alongside Hong Kong Eastern, the Saigon Heat, and the BTN CLS Knights Indonesia. They will all be assured of a spot in our quarterfinals, as their 12 wins will be enough to get them there.
And when the loss finally comes for the Westports Malaysia Dragons, they'll be 6 and 15. And Mono, very important win earlier against the Heat. They are 8 and 14.
Now, as we said, the Macau Black Bears will surely be looking for other options to help out alongside Mike Mckinney and Brian Watkins as they face off against tougher opponents down the road. They're looking for another import to take the spot of Anthony Tucker, who will be out for 4 to 6 weeks because of a Jones fracture. You have to also throw that question for the Westports Malaysia Dragons. Do you push the panic button? Do you try and alter your lineup? But at this point, they will not be able to do so already, as they will have to stick with this crew for the rest of this tournament. Again, they had the trust in the players that they had, in the imports, in the struggles of Chris Eversley, in the up and down play of Nana Egwu. They hope that at some point this team will get it together. But so far, it has not worked out for them, as they're about to lose their 6th straight ball game.
If you're the Dragons, when you go up against the Heat, if you're Coach J.B. Prone, what's going to be your message, knowing that you have a 6-game losing streak?
I don't think there is anything that's left to be said coming from their coach, as you know that you are in must-win situations. A playoff spot is hanging for you, and all you have to do is win the rest of your games to be able to claim it. Westports Malaysia Dragons, they know what it takes to win in the Asean Basketball League, being a former champion, and they will have to play with that same pride to be able to get a playoff spot in the 9th season.
The recent performances of Mike Mckinney, as we shift towards the Macau Black Bears, I think this sends a loud and resounding message to the rest of the league that even though Anthony Tucker is out, they still have Mike Mckinney, Ryan Watkins, and the collective effort by the Black Bears.
As we said on top of the broadcast, Mike Mckinney in his last 6 games has averaged an unbelievable 33.8 points per ball game, as he is now the top scorer of the entire league. And it looks like he will finish with a number somewhere near that 33.8 average, establishing his career high of 42 points in their last game, a loss to the Formosa Dreamers. But more than his scoring, it has been his ability to lead in the absence of Anthony Tucker. That was the biggest thing for the Black Bears in this contest.
And I think another thing that's not been mentioned as much is the acquisition actually of Jennings as he knocks down the three. And we talked about this before the broadcast. Who will bring down the basketball? And at first it was Nathan Yu. Then most of the rest of the game it was Jennings who handled point guard duties. And he was a big help as Mckinney only had to work, run the offense late in the shot clock.
Perfectly timed mention there, Yo, as Jennings Liu connects from deep. Right when you call this name, Ryan Watkins draws the foul as he shot from the outside.
It seems that Jennings Leung has found a home in the Macau Black Bears, former player from the Wolf Warriors.
As we said, the San Miguel Ala Pilipinas, Formosa Dreamers, and the Singapore Slingers are all safely into the quarterfinals. And in a short while, they will be joined by the Macau Black Bears, Saigon Heat, BTN CLS Knights Indonesia, and Hong Kong Eastern. What will be very interesting to see in the final games of the elimination round, aside from Moto Vampire and Westports Malaysia's race for the 8th spot, is how the middle teams will be jockeying for position, because you want home court advantage in the quarterfinals. You want to land as much as possible in the top 4. So there are no bearing games as we head into the tail end of our elimination round. All of our teams still angling for a better position at the top.
And we saw last season when Chong Song Kung Fu, for guys like Ryan Watkins and Mike Mckinney, they were the #1 seed heading into the playoffs, and that was quickly erased. So no position is safe actually, but again, you want that home court advantage.
That is definitely true. Mono Vampire upsetting Chong Son Kung Fu last season. And right now, as they are lurking at the 8th spot and playing much better than what they had at the start of this 9th season, even the top seed will not be comfortable with their spot against any matchup, against any of the other 7 teams they will face off against.
And it seems that Mike Mckinney is done for the night. He has been subbed out. Ryan Watkins still in the game, still playing hard. Here is King, Nathan Yu. And it's more of a finality here with 3 minutes remaining in the third. Eversley finally knocks down a 3-pointer.
Raises his hands in frustration. A forgettable night for him from the field. 4 of 18. He has 13 points in the contest, but it has been the effort of Jonathan Wong that has powered their offense. He has 17 points in the contest.
Eversley actually averaged 46% from the field last season. This season is down to 38. From 28.3 points last season, now down to 17.5. So the scoring has significantly dipped for Chris Eversley.
Again, heading into this ball game, the focus for the Westports Malaysia Dragons should have been their defense. And in the first 5 minutes of the game, they did very, very well, limiting the Macau Black Bears to only 5 points. But after that, their defense was nowhere to be found. Instead, it was the Black Bears who played with more gusto, with more fire, in getting stops, getting a lot of turnovers, picking up steals and converting them into easy points on the other side. 27 points of turnovers in total for the Macau Black Bears. That was a big reason why they were able to build this big lead.
I fear the Black Bears going up against the defending champion San Miguel Ala Pilipinas, and who are undefeated at home. What does this win do for you, a moral boosting win do for you?
It's a confidence booster, as you said, knowing that even if you do not have Anthony Tucker, maybe this lineup will be enough to contend with San Miguel Ala Pilipinas because, hey, they only have 2 imports as well in PJ Ramos and Ronaldo Balkman. It'll be a huge challenge for them as it has been impossible thus far to win in the Philippines for any of the visitors there. But Macau definitely will be heading into that ball game oozing with confidence as they know that their locals can step up. So many helpers alongside Mike Mckinney and Ryan Watkins in this ball game. You talk about Jening Leong, even mentioned Liu Jihao, and even their big man Chan Zhongqian. They've all done their fair share in making sure that they will come up with a victory after losing Anthony Tucker to injury.
And of course, if you're the Black Bears, you got to be happy about this effort after losing back-to-back games in Taiwan against the Formosa Dreamers. 2 winnable games for that matter.
Those were big losses against the Macau Black Bears. If they picked up wins against Formosa, it would have powered them to challenge for even a top 2 spot in the standings right behind San Miguel Ala Pilipinas. But you know, you can't cry over spilled milk if you're Macau. You can't feel bad about yourself even after losing Tucker. And right now they're showing that they're fighting just as hard, maybe even harder, as they're undermanned.
1.5 minutes remaining, and what has been a dominant performance by the home team. And Macau has set their 2nd and 3rd units on the floor for the Dragons. Chris Eversey still on the floor.
The fans inside the stadium in the celebratory mood as their Macau Black Bears are just 68 seconds away from taking another victory, their 12th win of the season. Things have not been as easy for them in the elimination round like it was playing as a Chongson Kung Fu Basketball Club last season.
It is now an 85-56 lead. And I'm sure if you're Mike Mckinney, you're telling the young guys, you're telling your other teammates that, hey, doesn't matter what seeding, because I've been the #1 before, and I've lost in the quarters against Mono.
That is definitely the case. And if you're Mike Mckinney also, you're telling this crew on the floor right now to keep shooting, get your confidence up, because you never know. Your help might be needed at some point in the game against San Miguel Ala Pilipinas. And when you see your shots, when you see your name actually printed with points across it, it just gives you more fire, more confidence heading into that big matchup against the defending champions. So the Dragons will be losing their 6th straight matchup. This is the worst time possible to go on a skid like this, but they'll have to pick it up come March 10 as they face off against the Saigon Heat.
That'll be 6 and 15. 14 seconds left on the clock. And Macau will opt not to shoot. Chris Everly just asking for the basketball. Shoots it. And now will do it. An 87-62 win by the Macau Black Bears. They've clinched a playoff seed alongside the Hong Kong Eastern, Saigon Heat, and BGN CLS Knights Indonesia. While the Dragons will fall to 6 and 15, losing their 6th straight ball game. And tonight the story has been the brilliant performance of Mike Mckinney stepping up for the injured Anthony Tucker.
28 points, 9 assists, 10 of 20 shooting from the field for Mike Mckinney. Ryan Watkins with a big double-double. 22 points and 19 rebounds in the game. And we have to credit the locals as well for the Macau Black Bears. Jening Leong leading them with 11 points off the bench. Tian hitting 7 points alongside Derek King, who also finishes with 7. It is a statement win for the Black Bears because they did it after losing Anthony Tucker for 4 to 6 weeks because of a bone fracture on his foot. And now they're willing to prove that they can win even without their main gunner in this squad.
And Carlo, what did you like the most about Mckinney's play today?
It was his leadership. It was his effort even on the defensive end that forced his teammates, that inspired his teammates to play that hard on the defensive side as well. They finished with 12 steals in the ball game, 29 points off turnovers, picked up 14 rebounds, leading to a bunch of second chance points. And again, of course, the three-point shooting always a big factor for the Macau Black Bears. 11 triples in this game compared to only 8 for the Westports Malaysia Dragons. 34% shooting from the field simply would not cut it for Westports Malaysia against Macau.
And also the stats, 12 steals for the Black Bears. The offense was not really there for Malaysia all game long.
Outstanding effort coming from Ryan Watkins as well. He and Mike Mckinney actually came into this court wearing Anthony Tucker warm-up jerseys, dedicating their performance in this matchup to their teammate. And I'm sure Anthony Tucker watching this game is all smiles as his team picking up an 87-62 victory.
As we check out the highlights, right from the get-go, the Black Bears were running their opponent off the floor. And as we've mentioned all game long, it was the leadership of Mckinney finding open guys. And the locals drawing inspiration from Mckinney, getting the confidence that they need all game long. And for Malaysia, just not enough offense.
Only 16 points for Chris Eversley, 5 of 20 from the field. They got enough from Jonathan Wong, but Nana Egwu finishing with only 7 points, only took 4 shots in this entire ball game and 7 rebounds. Nowhere close to being enough, as his counterpart Ryan Watkins picking up 19 big boards on the other side.
Once again, a lot of teams have gotten the playoff seed from this win by Macau. So aside from San Miguel Ala Pilipinas, Formosa Dreamers, Singapore Singers, so it's Macau, Saigon, Indonesia, and Hong Kong all right into the playoffs, which leaves one more spot remaining, and that will be decided against Moto Vampire Basketball Club and Westports Malaysia Dragons. In your final, once again here in University of Macau, 87-62. Great bounce back win by the Mike Mckinney-led Black Bears. 28 points, 9 assists for Mike Mckinney. Playing solid basketball in the stead of Anthony Tucker. And for my partner, Carlo Pamintua, and for the rest of the ABL family, this has been Yoyo Sarmenta bidding you good night from Macau. 87-62, once again, your final.